Hey, Alex, we need to connect with Houston and see if we can get one of those. What do they call them? The Britney Spears style mic, like that wraps around the head.
Yeah.
So that Commissioner Andy Gipson doesn't have to take his cowboy hat off when he's on the radio with us.
That's a fantastic idea.
You like that?
Yeah. Well, let's just work on that.
You a lifelong cowboy hat man? Like you?
I have. My dad wore a cowboy hat all of my life, and I picked it up. My kids have, and I don't wear it all the time, but we have an affinity for the cowboy hat and for all kind of hats. I wear all kind of hats, as a matter of fact.
There you go.
Ball caps.
Fedora?
Caps.
You got a fedora?
No, I don't have one of them. I don't reckon I'll get one of them.
I think we should open that up to the closet as well. Andy Gipson visiting with us, Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce. A lot to get to. We got the rodeo that is really, really close, Dixie National Rodeo, right here at the fairgrounds and the Coliseum and Trade Mart and all of that. But I got to ask you about bird flu.
Yeah.
I admittedly don't know a ton about it, but I do know that it's very much in the news. I know there was a death in Louisiana last week that was reported. Is this something that we are dealing with in Mississippi?
It is. It's something we are dealing with, and we have been dealing with it for over a decade in Mississippi. That's high-path avian influenza is a big fancy word for bird flu. And this bird flu has been around. It's basically a virus among birds. It's been in wild birds. We've had duck flocks that have killed off geese and all, now even your songbirds are getting it. But for Mississippi, and most recent issues have been our commercial poultry flocks. And in fact, this year, we've had 2 outbreaks one in Greene County and one in Copiah County. Had to kill 250,000 chickens because to keep this virus from spreading. That's through the Mississippi Board of Animal Health. Dr. Jim Watson, who does our state veterinarian, does a fantastic job. But that is the required protocol for the federal response to this bird flu. Now, the bird flu that we've known about in chicken houses, somehow last year it became transferred to dairy farms out west. We have not had any bird flu on our dairies or in our beef cattle, dairy cattle, any in the state of Mississippi. We thank God for that. But then what you saw in Louisiana, this man who died, who did have some underlying condition, he apparently contracted bird flu from some birds, maybe wild birds. We don't know exactly, but it has last year. It has apparently mutated to a point that people can catch it. But it's like a cold. It's like a flu. I don't want people to panic out there. For the most part, it is just have flu-like symptoms. This gentleman who died is a tragedy, but he did have some severe other underlying conditions, like.
Have we considered giving all the birds flu shots?
No. Well, there is no cure for bird flu. A virus, there is no such a thing that a virus can actually, you can, because they mutate, they change. And
right.
That's what we're seeing. They're changing to go into other species. Now people can catch it. So
hence all the different strains of flu that we're familiar with, or the COVID strains.
Exactly. That's right.
It changes over time.
It changes over time. You know the deal. But our folks in Mississippi do a great job. It's in all 50 states. All 50 states are dealing with bird flu. For us, because poultry is the number one business in the state of Mississippi, it is the biggest industry in the entire state, and it's our number one product in agriculture. It's a huge deal because when we detect bird flu in any flock, then there are a lot of countries around the world that will not buy our chicken from an infected state for a period of time. So we'll be hurting for that.
Yeah, that's a scary deal. So you've got, I guess, company or multiple companies that are dealing with that in terms of the export piece of it. I mean, I could make jokes about bird flu all day, but it's obviously a serious deal.
It is.
In terms of transmissibility, how is it transmitted? Is it airborne? Is it?
There is.
I mean, I don't want to be graphic here, and I'm not trying to be, but
we have been on a number of conference calls with USDA, I'll be traveling to D.C. in February, meeting on this and other issues with the Trump administration. But there is really a lot of questions about how it is transmitted. So a lot of people believe it is transmitted through droppings. Okay, so more than likely, what has happened is some wild birds who had it were flying over these flocks, these poultry houses. Although there is intense biosecurity that the poultry business puts into place to keep foreign matter out of these houses, somehow some droplet, some speck of something got in that house, and once it gets in a bird, it spreads like wildfire. And so you see tens of thousands of birds who will catch it, and we have to keep it contained. It's a containment. That is the only response to it, like communism. We have to keep it from spreading. And our folks at the Board of Animal Health have done a great job doing that. It costs money to do that, and I think last year the legislature gave some additional funds to help combat this. We're going to need that again this year because it is spreading, and it's, as I said, it's a nationwide problem. But also, we don't want people to panic about it. If a lot of people.
Well, I mean, I think what you said about it's been here for a decade is important for people to remember. We've lived with it.
That's right. And if people, there have been, I think, a dozen people who've caught a strain of bird flu this past year. Most of them just had a cold. They got better. So don't panic, and it's not affecting your food safety at all. It's just a matter of we can't allow it to get into the egg population, for example. The egg laying houses last year, it killed millions and millions, and that's one reason why all your egg prices jumped sky high. We just hadn't caught up with the supply of our eggs nationwide due to bird flu. That's a real thing.
Visiting with Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce, Andy Gipson, Gallo Radio Show, SuperTalk, Mississippi. Last couple of times we've talked about the plight of farmers in Mississippi. That hasn't changed any bit, or hasn't changed at all. We did get the continuing resolution ultimately after some fighting back and forth that provided some relief. How quickly is that getting to our farmers, and what effect or impact is it going to have?
We're very, very grateful. Our farmers are very grateful that Congress did get that done with President Trump's support. And so it's coming down now, actually. That is currently being administered by USDA. And that relief is going to be the difference between a lot of farms shutting down and versus continuing to operate.
Yeah, so we talked about that. I mean, there was a significant number of farms that were planning to shut down next year.
300,000 because there so many farmers have lost money due to the inflation, due to the low prices. Under the Biden administration, about 300,000 farmers are ready to go to the House. This is going to keep that from happening. I think there will still be some farmers who are nearing retirement age who'll say, you know what, we're done, and go to the House. But this package, the farm bill that passed by Congress, thanks to our delegation, our senators, our congressmen, thank you so much for getting that done for us, because it really was a life or death situation for Mississippi. Mississippi agriculture is the number one part of our economy, and most people don't remember that. But here at MEC, a lot of our members are ag-related members.
That's right.
It's a huge part of our economy. It's the backbone of Mississippi's economy.
David Ripley says the only thing he's panicking about is $7 eggs.
That's right, and you can thank bird flu for that. Last year, I forget.
Among other things.
That's right. Among Bidenomics, that's right. But bird flu, I think there were like 8 million birds that caught it last year and died in the laying houses nationwide. But we're going to get through this. We have to keep it from spreading, and there's a lot of work being done on it, and our farmers are resilient. We'll keep it going, and we'll keep Mississippi agriculture strong.
Dixie National Rodeo.
Yep, it's February the 6th. We'll have the Sale of Champions, Dixie National Sale of Champions, and then the 7th, the rodeo kicks off. And before all of that, all of our livestock shows will be in full swing here in January and February. So we invite everybody to come on down and be a part. It's going to be I'm going to say this. I'm a man of great faith. This is going to be the biggest and the best Dixie National we've ever had. It's shaping up that way. We've sold so many tickets. There's so much interest in this rodeo. like we've never seen before.
And also in the music act, Zach Topp sold out. Ella Langley very close to sold out. You've got Gretchen Wilson performing, Sam Barber performing, George Burge. The great Lori Morgan, Clay Walker, if you want to go back to 80s and 90s country.
Get your tickets
some
now.
really good stuff.
They're going so fast. And I want to recommend, I know a lot of people go to Ticketmaster for convenience, but if you can, get them at the box office because you're going to save a lot of money on fees, and you're going to be able to get some of the better seats getting at the box office if you can. And get them now. The time is now. Don't wait any longer.
If you pulled out a crystal ball and looked into it, any idea what you're doing 3 years from now?
You know, I get that question every single day, and my answer is always the same. I'm praying about it, but I'm focused on doing my job right now. I got elected just last year to do the job of Ag and Commerce Commissioner, and I love this job, and I enjoy doing it. And we're going to try to keep growing things here in our agriculture sector and our rodeo and the state fair and other great initiatives that we have. I want to pray about it, and when the Lord gives me the word on what to do in 3 years, I'll let everybody know. But till then, I'm praying and I'm doing my job.
I was all set to put a good Lord willing and the creek don't rise qualifier on whatever your answer was.
Well, every big decision I've ever made in my life has involved me praying about it, talking with my family about it, and seeking the Lord's will. And I hope I die 5 minutes before I do something besides the Lord's will. I'm going to do what the Lord wants me to do in 3 years.
Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce, Andy Gipson. Always enjoy your time, or always appreciate your time. Always enjoy the conversation.
Thank you, Richard. God bless. See you at MEC. Thank you.
And the Dixie National Rodeo. Don't forget about that. Gallo Radio Show, SuperTalk, Mississippi. Quick timeout. We'll wrap up the 7 o'clock hour with you when we come back.
Thank you.